Hi guys, welcome back to our session. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Kamarul. So in this video I'm going to show you or basically demonstrate to you how you can solve problem related to the topic of ratio. So as we have discussed in our class, we have two type of ratio that we're gonna look at for under this syllabus in the syllabus. So basically we have the ratio of two quantities and ratio of three quantities. So we're gonna look at how the questions gonna be generated during the final exam and also during your test. Okay, so this is basically a discussion on the past semester exam papers questions. Okay, so without further ado, let's just continue with our session for this one. Okay, so I'm going to show you how we can solve problem that related to the topic of ratio with both the two quantities and also the three quantities. So this question is taken from the past semester exam papers. So we have December 2019. So this is MAT111 exam papers, December 2019. Okay, the first question is related to the ratio of two quantities. So let's see how we can solve this one. So basically, when we talk about ratio of two quantities or ratio with three quantities, the most important part is to extract the information given. And it is easier for you to solve the problem if you can write the information in table form. Okay, let's see the question A. So it says here a sum of 18,000 is shared among Arisa. Okay, is shared among Arisa. Let me just get the highlighter. Okay, among Arisa and Darwish. Okay, in Darwisi in the ratio of 2:6. So you have three information over here. So one is the total amount, and then the sharing between the two entities, that is Arisa and Darwisi, and then the ratio of sharing, right? So the question right now asks you how much will each of them receive. So how do you transfer this information into a table form? So if you have two quantities, in this case you have two quantities, or basically two entities, that is Arisa and Darwish. So you transform this information into table form, and if you have two, that means you're gonna have three columns. So the first column is Arisa, and then the second column is Darwish, and lastly the third column will be the total. Okay, will be the total. All right. So the next thing is to identify the other given information respective to the columns that we have just drawn. So in this case, it says that the ratio between Arisa and Darwisi is 2 and 6. So that means you have 2 over here and 6 over here. Okay. So let me just erase everything. So you have this thing, right? So you have 2 and 6. And then the next thing that you have is the 18,000. 18,000 is the total. So the first row represents the entity or the categories. The second row represents the ratio values. And the third row represents the amount or the quantity. So in this case, we don't know the quantity for Arisa. We don't know the quantity for Darwisi. And we only know the quantity for both of them, that is 18,000. So this one, right? So you have this thing. So you have the 18,000. So this is the amount that you know. Okay. So the question right now is that you need to find the values for Arisa and quantity. So here and this one. So let's say we have this to be, let me just give this a value here. Okay, let's use a red color over here. So let's say this one is X and this one is Y. Sorry. Okay, X and Y. Okay, and for this one there is no total, so you can come up with the total. So this is basically 2 plus 6, you get 8. Okay, you get 8 over here. Okay, so in order to find the value of x and y, you can take any two columns that have a complete information. When I say complete information, means that you have two columns that only have one unknown. So basically in this case, if you want to find x, you can use column this one, Arisa, and the total. Okay, so in this case we have to choose two columns that is complete. In this case, complete meaning that there's only one unknown variables in the cells. Okay, so for example, in this case, if you choose Arisa and the total column, so you see that you have 2 for the ratio for Arisa, and then the total ratio for total will be 8. And then the quantity you have 18,000 for the total, and the only unknown that is not available in the cells will be the x. So in this case, you can come up with a relationship between the ratios with one unknown. So with that, we can solve the problem. Let me just show you how we can solve the problem. So with these two information, what you can have here will be just simply, okay, so you have 2 over x equal to, and then take 8 over 18,000. Okay, so with this you can solve for the value of x. So if you cross multiplication for this one, you get 2 times 18, you get 36. So that means 36000, and this is equivalent to 8 times x, you get 8x. Okay, with this you have x is equal to 36,000 divided by 8. So calculate this one, you should get the answer to be, okay, let me bring up my calculator. So, let me bring up my scientific calculator. Okay, okay, so we have this one. So you want 36,000 divided by 8. So 36,000, you take division by 8. So with this you get the answer to be 4,500. So that means x here is 4,500. Okay, so that means you have the value of x. So now you can replace the value of x here. Okay, so let me just replace this one. This one you can find x is equal to 4500. Okay, so once you have the x value 4500, you can now find the value of y. So to find the value of y, since the question asks you how much money will each of them receive, so you have to find the value for Arisa and also Darwisi. So in this case, since you already know the value of x, you can just find the value of y by simply subtract 4,500 from 18,000, or you can use the same method as this one. Okay, but right now choosing Darwisi with total or Arisa with Darwisi. So the easiest way is to find by taking, so in this case you have y is equal to 18,000 minus x, right? So in this case, when you calculate this one, you should get the values to be 18,000 minus x. You get this to be 13,500. Okay, you get y equal to 13,500. If you want to recheck using the same method also can. Okay, let's say we want to use the same method as this one. Okay, so let me just erase this thing so that we can do one more solution for y. So let's see whether we can get the same answer or not for y using the same technique just now. So that we just use this one. Okay, so now we are choosing the column for Darwisi and the total, or you can also use Darwisi and Arisa. So you have 6 over y is equal to 8 over 18,000. Okay, so now you have 18,000 divided by y, or just simply we can just write this as y is equal to 6 times 18,000 and then divide by 8. So calculate this one. Let me bring up my calculator. So you get this to be 6 times, or if you want to use this one, so times 18,000 divided by 8. So you get this to be 13,500. So same as what you have just now. Okay, same as what you have just now. Alright, so this is for the two quantities. Alright, so the second question gave you the example on the use of a ratio with 3 quantities. Okay, the question refer to ratio with 3 quantities. Okay, let's see how we can solve this one. Right, so here again it says here you have a truck carrying bottles of grape juice, cherry juice and apple juice. So you have 3 items over grape, cherry and apple. So remember, if you have 3 items, that means you have to come up with 4 columns. So what is the fourth one? The fourth one will be the total, the column for total. And then the ratio given here is 3k and 5. So it doesn't give you the exact value, just give you in the form of variables. And then it says also there are 24 bottles for grape juice and the bottle totals around 120. So that is the information that you have. Okay, let's see what are the information given here, and you extract the information and put it in the table form as shown in the pictures, right? So in this case you have 3 items, that is grape, cherry, apple and lastly the total. And then in this situation they give you the ratio 3, k and 5 and some other information that is available. You know that grape has 24 bottles and the total bottles for grape, cherry and apple total up to be 120. Okay, so that is the information that you have. Okay, let's see how we can solve this problem. Okay, let me erase everything first so that we have a space to work on. Okay, so in this case, okay, you have 3, k and 5 and then the total here you don't have a value. So let me just write this one, give you a total. But right now it's not going to be a number because you see that in between for cherry it is an unknown, a value of k. So we write this as k plus 3 plus 5 is 8. So you get k plus 8. So that is the total. And then other than that, you have 24, and then this one you have apple is 5, and so on, right? Okay, so how do you find the value of k over here? Okay, how do you find the value of k? So in order to find the value of k, so again at the same thing, same as before, you need to find a column that can give you the exact values. Okay, column that give you the exact value. So meaning to say that when you choose the two columns, you only have one unknown. So you cannot choose the column Sherry here, because Sherry don't have a value down there. So both rows have no values, k and nothing in there, right? So what you can do right now is to choose two columns. So in this case, you can choose grape. Okay, let me color this as green, and total. Okay, why do I choose this thing? Because even though this one you can see 3 and 24 you have a value, this one you have a value, and then this one don't have a full value. You have an unknown, but you can solve for the unknown because you only have one cell that it has no values, right? So using these methods, okay, using these columns, let's just solve the problems. Okay, again using the same concept, you have two columns over here, and then you can get the relationship between the two columns. That is 3 divided by 24 is equal to k plus 8 divided by 120. Okay, so now you simplify this, you get 120 times 3, you get 360, right? So 360 equal to, and this one you cross multiplication, you get 24k plus, so 8 times 24 is how much? Sorry, let me just erase this one first. This is not just 24, so it's supposed to be 24, sorry, 24k, 24, back to my pen, 24k, and then plus 8 times 24. If you bring up your calculator, you can multiply 8 times 24. Okay, 192. Okay, so if you don't know how to use your calculator, you can just if you don't know how to calculate manually, just use your calculator. Okay, so in this case you can just basically calculate manually. So 25 times 8 is 200, minus 8 you get 192. Okay, so you get here to be 192. Okay, so let me erase this one because the 4 here is not very clear. So let me rewrite 4 again. Okay, 24. Okay, so now you can solve for k. So in this case you have 24k is equal to, so 360 minus 192, so 360 minus 192, so you get 168. So 168, right? So k here is equal to 168 divided by 24. Okay, so in this case you get divide by 24, so you get k is equal to 7. So here you get equal to 7. So this will give you the answer over here. So now here you have k is equal to 7. Alright, So when k is equal to 7, so this one gonna be equal to 3 plus 7 is 10, so plus 5 you get 15, right? So that is the value for k. So the question asks only for the value of k, so you need just to find the value of k. So all other values you don't have to find. If you want to find all the other values, use the same process, that is find two columns, okay, that has only one unknown, and with that particular columns being chosen, come up with the relationship for the two columns and then solve for the unknown. Okay, so that's it for the solution on how to calculate the missing values given in the topics of ratio. All right, so with that, I hope this is useful for you and it will help you in understanding the topic of ratio. Okay, until we meet again in the next video, all the best to all of you and bye.